All right, hey, shalom, 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 shalom. Give me 1 second. All right, hey, shalom. First, I'm giving honors to. Let me make sure my video is good. Shalakia. I had to change the title real quick. But first, I'm giving honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kadash. I'm gonna play some music before I start. Shalakia for the long wait. Oh, that's the sound. Shalakia. All right. The title of this video is gonna be called "Why Are There No Jobs in America?" Okay, why are there no jobs in America? Because the Most High is about to destroy this place, Babylon the Great. Okay. All right, Shlaki. Why are there no jobs in America? Because America is coming to an end. And like I said, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is about to destroy this place. Okay, that's the main reason why there's no job market. That's Shlaki. That's the reason why America is going down the drain, because the job market is failing. Okay, the job market that the American people thrive on is crumbling, it's collapsing. Okay, we're in 2025, and it's hard for the average American to find a job to sustain themselves and the people that they live with or their families. Okay, so these people, they're done, man. They're through. Actually, I'm gonna pause the music real quick. I wanted to show y'all a video real quick. I want to share the screen. Yep. Okay, good. Yep. Yeah. The American people, man, they're through as well, because you're relying on a system in a country that eventually is going to fall. Okay. We don't have that much time here in Babylon. And like that scripture, I'm gonna grab that scripture. This is not our rest. And why I mean people, I'm speaking about you Jakes, first of all, because y'all are people. I mean, y'all are Israelites, but y'all not really our people, because y'all 2/3. But Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with the sword destruction. Right, this place will destroy you with the sword destruction. If you invest in Babylon, hey, you're done, man. Okay, you're basically investing into a plan that's going to fail. You're putting all your chips on something that's going to rot, that's going to destroy you over time. You know, people out here saying 5 or 10 years, I'm gonna be a millionaire. Hey man, in 5 to 10 months, you're gonna be through, assed out, man. No money, no job, or no nothing. People don't have no form of reality, no form of actual reality, man. Okay, and mainly you Israelites, because y'all make America y'all nesting ground, and this is not your nesting ground. Okay, Babylon the Great is not your home. This was a punishment, okay, for the Israelites, because we went against Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the main problem. But see, Jake loves captivity. Okay, like the scripture says, is Israel a homeborn slave? Hey, Jake love, yes, boss, working working 9 to 5. No matter how many times they complain, they love working 9 to 5. They love picking the bricks and lifting with their back. They love carrying large loads of supplies and building these Edomites houses and homes and living rooms. They love this place, man. Okay, no matter how much they complain or how much of a hypocritical people they are, they love Babylon the Great, man. And that's why the Lord is going to destroy the 2/3 of our people, the 66.6% of our people. But on the other hand, you heathens and you Edomites, y'all finished too, because your resting place is also destroying you as well, mainly you Edomites. Okay. And this is what happens when you touch the Lord's eye, man. You touch the Lord's the apple of the Lord's eye, man. The Israelites. Now your kingdom is falling. Okay, you built your kingdom on the bloodshed of so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, West Indies, and Haitians. And now that this place is crumbling, you don't know what to do. Okay, and the only thing that you can do is to load up your guns and your weapons and hunt down Jake. Okay, I'll see if brothers got any scriptures. All right, if not, cool. I'm gonna open the comment board if brothers got any scriptures. But I'm gonna make another video on this lesson right here. But I'm gonna play this video, and this is this is why are jobs disappearing in the US, and this is an 8-minute video.
It's getting harder to find work in the United States. In August, businesses added just 22,000 new jobs.
That's actually quite a weak number. Looking at that in isolation, that would actually be a lot more consistent with the start of a recession, historically.
Gone are the days of 200,000 jobs every month. We're likely to be in an environment where job growth is hovering around zero, essentially.
The U.S. labor market
Well, let me go back.
Where job growth is hovering around zero, essentially.
And it's going to fall to zero. Okay. The job market percentage is going down because if you think about it, after the letter C, the C19, a lot of jobs became remote. Okay, because before the C19, a lot of jobs were how can I say, in person. You had to walk or drive or take the bus to your job. Now a lot of jobs or careers are now remote. Not all of them. I'm just saying most of the careers that people have is remote. Being on the computer, sitting down, having meetings and chat, group chats and all that. That's what's happening as we speak, and that caused a big huge problem to the job market, because hey, if everybody's working at home, what's the point of going to your actual building? What's the point of walking in and walking to your job site and logging in the computer and typing in your schedule? What's the point of all that, man? What's the point? So that's one of the main reasons why the job market is failing, because hey, it's remote, and it has its pros too. You can sit down and after you've done your job, you can watch TV or whatever. Okay, whatever. After work, you just make a bowl of cereal and just watch the fucking NFL game. You're gonna whatever you want to do in your free time. But that's one of the main reasons why the job market is crumbling, because of remote jobs, man. So I'm gonna see this video. It says U.S. economy is worse than thought, with 1.2 fewer jobs. What that means for the Fed?
Than previously thought. Less than half of the people polled by the New York Fed say they could find a new job if they lost their current one.
Downside risks to employment are rising. And if those risks materialize, they can do so quickly in the form of sharply higher layoffs and rising unemployment.
The Federal Reserve can give businesses more confidence to hire workers by adjusting the federal funds rate. The Fed is lowering this key interest rate as companies navigate changes on trade, immigration, and inflation.
Companies are holding back because they're both trying to see what the tariffs will be, what the effect of the tariffs will be, and inside of that is what happens to their profit margins.
They're willing to deal with the uncertainty, but they need to react to that. And so part of that is just being very prudent in how they're hiring.
Why are jobs disappearing? And can the Fed do anything to bring them back?
Oh, Shalakia. Hey, that's judgment right here. Lord, fuck their asses up. But can the Fed bring them back? The answer is no, because America has a wound that cannot be healed. Okay, Babylon the Great has a wound, all right, an infection, a disease that can't be healed nor be cured, man. So this place is rotting from the inside out. Okay, it's rotting like an old apple. And you gotta think about it. A lot of these people thinking that, well, if I lose my job, I could find another. Hey man, at this point, man, you really need a Lord on your side, because hey, when brothers lose their job or lose their career or stuff like that, the Lord will find a way to help them to get back on their feet. But the Lord ain't dealing with the people outside of this truth. So you gotta imagine what they're going through. They don't got nothing to rely on. Okay, they be calling on the astrologies and Jesus and manifesting. All that shit ain't gonna work, man. If the Lord ain't dealing with you, you assed out here, man. Okay, brothers, like I said, brothers will lose a job. You know, they'll struggle a little bit, but hey, the Lord's gonna pick them back up. These people, man, once they lose their job, they lose everything, man. Majority of these people, they living in their cars, and don't let their outward appearance fool you, man. Don't let a dude that's walking down the street with a suit and tie on fool you. Okay, because that dude is losing it. He's losing it mentally, because the job that he been working for, the career that he been working for years, is now how can I say it, losing the resources. Okay, payment is going down. The accessories, the lifestyle of that the job provides is not working for him. Okay. And let me say this too, brothers, do not let these Edomites fool you as well. All right. They know that their kingdom is falling. They know that their federal note, that dollar bill, is becoming more valueless, man. It's losing its value. So give me 1 second. Okay. A lot of people walking around with credit cards instead of cash in their hands or in their pockets, because money is now digital. Okay, you got Cash App, you got Venmo, what's it called, PayPal. What's it called? Is it called Venmo? Let me see. Venmo. Yep, Venmo. You got this too. Okay. So a lot of things are falling as we speak, man. And like I said, do not let these Edomites with their suit and ties on, and even these niggas that got these monkeys in these suits, man. These 2/3 niggas, do not let them fool you as well. Even the ones that got chains around their necks are wearing fucking Versace glasses. Don't let that shit fool you as well, man. Because behind the curtains, they're struggling to live, man. But these people that you see walking down the street, that we see outside, you know, prophesying on the highways and hedges, they be calling us bums, dudes with curtains, dudes with fringes, okay, brokies. But these people out here, they're the true bums, man. They're the true losers, man, because they're losing because they're investing into a society that's going to crumble, that's going to eventually fall. They're investing into a world that they went to school for, that they passed their classes for, that they went to college for, and realizing that the world that they've been, that career, that world that they desired and wanted, is now crumbling and falling before their eyes. And not even just that, it's not real. Okay, that American dream is not real. Like, well, what George Carlin says, you have to be asleep to believe in it, man, to believe in this dream. So these people, man, they're losing it. They're losing it big time. Let me play the video.
The slowdown in hiring is most potent for younger workers.
We're seeing a lot of pressure on the younger generation when it comes to this labor market. We're seeing many firms facing higher imported costs, and they are, in many cases, struggling with the cost of talent in a high interest rate environment.
And I'm sorry, just one last thing. The reason why a lot of younger people are having problems is two things. One, a lot of younger generation don't want to be, Gen Z, don't want to be traditional like this. Only a few are like this. They got the button-up shirt, the nice pants, leather boots, and the briefcase. That's done away with, man. They realize that their parents were once in this position, and they getting fucked over. And not just this position, but many positions of what society claim as a high successful, high paying job. A lot of younger generation, my age, from let's just say 13 and up, right now as we speak, they want to become the next streamer. They want to be like the next Kai Cenat. They want to go Twitch. They want to be a rapper, an actor, an athlete. They don't want to be this, man. They don't want to sit in the cubicle. And who wants to sit in the cubicle, man? Because that shit that's very depressing. You want to sit in this bullshit? Hold on. Cubicle. You want to sit in this? This is where you want to sit in this draining, tired. Not all jobs are like this. Let me classify this. Not all jobs are like this. But this is where you want to call your dream job. Is this? Sit in the cubicle to people around you that you don't even like or don't even know. All right. And then if you're not finishing your work, a boss behind your back cursing you out. Hey, man, the younger generation don't want to work like that, man. They and we think about it, the younger generation, they make a lot of their money off the social media platforms, man. Okay. But this whole suit and tie thing, walk into a business or walk into a big, huge office space, all right, the young Gen Z don't want to do that, man. Like I said, only, majority. I'm not saying all, I'm saying the mass majority don't want to do that. Because they realize what they seen with their parents and then their grandparents, that this doesn't provide them, that this doesn't match their dreams. They want to become, like I said, a I Show Speed, a Kai Cenat, or LeBron James' son, Bronny James. They want to be the next big dude on the block that got more subscribers or more followings, man. Make YouTube videos, Twitch videos, streaming videos. Jake don't want to bust their ass at a job. Well, I mean Jake. Let me rephrase that. These younger kids don't want to bust their ass at a job where they get cursed out because they didn't finish their fucking file or papers. They don't want to work in that situation. They don't want to work in that environment. They want to work at their own will. They want to do their own thing. And at the extent I see that. Okay. And number two, the reason why the job marketing is bad for the younger generation, because these jobs be given more requirements. They be bringing more, they be asking for more requirements, of a whole fucking bullet point of requirements for the younger kids from, like, let's just say 18 to 25, requirements that these younger people don't even have, man. A lot of the younger people, the Gen Z, don't really have those requirements. So you're making it really unrealistic. How can I say really hard for a younger generation to get these jobs, because these companies and businesses asking for too much, man. Okay. And when someone, a young person like me, or someone that has the requirements, they can't get the job. They're not qualified. So what the fuck is all with what's all with these what's with all these requirements, man? If I can't get the job. So it's how can I say it? It's unrealistic in a sense. Like they want everything out your ass, man. Arm, leg, half your face. They want everything out of you, man. To work at these dead-end jobs that's not even paying you well. So Shalaki, let me see if brothers post any scriptures. If not, a shalom to the elect and brothers and sisters that are watching the video. All right, and let me say this, man. It's nothing wrong having a job. There's nothing wrong having a career, but you have to realize, man, that we're at the point where the career world and job world is crumbling. It's asking people unrealistic requirements that not everybody has, man. Not everybody has a driver license. Not everybody has what's another term I'm looking for? ID. or something like that, man. I know that's a dumb example, but hey, man, not everybody has that, man. So these companies, these big corporations, they're making it hard for people that are younger just to get the job they need to provide for themselves and their families, man. And like I said, we're at the point where America is falling. So brothers, get a job, which get what you get, but you gotta realize, man, that this place ain't gonna last long, man. Okay. And there's nothing wrong wearing the suit and tie going to work. No, there's nothing wrong. Well, let's all go back to masonry, but there's nothing wrong dressing professional that match that, job. I'm not saying you gotta walk into a job and you looking all dirty and crazy. No, man, fix yourself. Clean yourself up. But what I'm saying is that a lot of these jobs and careers are asking for a lot of things that the younger generation don't really have, man, or possess. So if you get a job at Burger King, hey, get a job at Burger King. If you get a job at Lowe's, get a job at Lowe's. If you can get an office job, hey, cool. But hey, occupy until that time comes, until Yahweh Shai returns, man. Because that's the only thing that we waiting for, is that true retirement when Yahweh Shai comes, man. And if you don't have a job, hey, rely on Yahweh Shai. He's gonna help you find a job, man. But you gotta, speaking to myself, hey, we all gotta put the work in, man. No matter you get job or without job, man, we all gotta put our hand in. You gotta push yourself too, man. I'm not just speaking to the Hakim, speaking to myself and everything. Okay, if you need it, pray to Yahweh by Shimi outside. But on your hand, you gotta do it yourself, man. So let's play this video.
Tech space, the finance space, the professional and business services space are sectors that are under more pressure, and they are the ones that generally are big hirers of younger cohorts.
Recent college graduates typically have better job prospects than the overall labor force. Historically, they have lower unemployment levels too. That trend reversed starting in 2022.
The United States has been suffering from a series of rolling recessions. Pockets of industries or industries themselves that have gone through their own downturns, whether it was manufacturing or consumer goods, this hasn't bubbled up to the broader economy. I would put the youth employment situation squarely in that category right now.
The high-paying information sector is flashing warning signs too. Software developer roles for workers in their 20s are down sharply since 2022. Young marketing and sales managers are having trouble getting hired as well. That said, younger workers are finding jobs in the health and retail sectors at a relatively fast pace.
We know that companies are turning to technology.
Yeah, in retail, I don't know much about the health day because I never worked at health day, but by experience, by retail, a lot of younger generations will like to work at, Gen Z, and particularly, especially younger Jakes and these other nations of younger people, they like to work at stores that they like to shop at. Jake like working at Foot Locker. Jake like working at Starbucks. Even companies that relate to them in their everyday life. All right, Snipes. All right, Adidas, Sephora. Jake like working at these things because hey, that's just that can help them right then and there. It's quick money. But in the long term, like career wise, it's hard for these younger generations to find a career because they going to school that's wasting their time. And I'm not saying not all younger people, but I'm just saying most part, the most part, a lot of younger people that will go to these big huge schools waste 3 to 4 years to get a job. They're not even sure if they're going to get one because once they get graduated, hey, the job is not hiring. Now they got to work at the McDonald's down the street. Now they got to work at the Dunkin' Donuts or the Starbucks down the street. So that diploma that that PhD, that diploma that they've been working for the past 3 to 4 years was all pointless, man. Hey, my experience, man, I didn't go to college. Once I got out of high school, I had a year of and that's spiritual because during that year of what's it called a free year? Give me 1 second. I want to type in the chat GPT. A gap year. Hold on. What's a gap year? Yep. There we go. Gap year. Okay. That's the term I was looking for. I didn't want to use the wrong term. But yeah, man, during that gap year after I graduated high school, during that time, I was learning more about the truth, man. Okay. I was more watching videos and learning and gaining the truth. And then eventually I came across the brothers, my old camp. And then, over time I came to the truth, man, officially. So hey, so that's a blessing. That's all praise out by Shinny outside, because that's a blessing, man. Because there's a lot of kids that's graduating college and going to these, not graduating college, going graduating high school, and don't know what the fuck to do. Most of them do go to college, but 9 out of 10, a lot of them don't have Yahweh by Shinny outside, man, on their side. So going to college or don't go into college, if or not going to college, if you don't have Yahweh by Shinny outside, if you don't have the Most High Yahweh by Shinny outside on your side, man, hey, man, the world gonna eat you up, man. There's some people that had better plans than others, but most of the time, man, if you don't have the Lord on your side, you're through, man. But like I said, retail, a lot of the younger generation like to work at stores that they love or relate to them. They love working at Foot Locker or H&M, Forever 21. Okay, what's another store I could think of? Dick's Sporting Goods, Wendy's. Because that's quick money. Even though they tired of working at certain jobs, hey, that's quick money, man. That's gonna help them right then and there. So Shalaki about me, Shalaki for me ran. Let's continue.
At a relatively fast pace.
We know that companies are turning to technology and AI to figure out if they can maybe stomach some of those costs or bring some of those costs down without having to hire somebody, at least initially.
AI is very new. The capabilities of it are not very well known. Well, to the extent that it can replace jobs, the first jobs it should be replacing are those new entry-level, simpler jobs.
A small collection of industries are still adding workers.
You're still seeing resilience in the healthcare space and in the leisure and hospitality space. Those two sectors are upholding the labor market, but there is increased evidence that over the next 6 months, there might be more weakness out of these two sectors as well. Less than half of the private sector is adding jobs, and manufacturing would be one of the key industries. But we're also seeing increased softness in construction activity, a telltale sign that housing activity is experiencing a slowdown. We're seeing businesses being more cautious with who they hire, how much they hire, and also in some cases proceeding with strategic layoffs.
Shalaki.
When your kid is hurting and there's nothing you can do about it.
The Fed's interest rate policies also contribute to today's labor market slowdown. These interest rates influence Americans' job prospects and the pace of price increases. Lowering them can mean more jobs and more inflation. Raising them may mean less inflation and slower economic growth. The Fed took interest rates into restrictive territory in the first quarter of 2023. Since then, they've held the target for the federal funds rate high relative to the so-called neutral interest rate of around 3%. In other words, the Fed's past decisions are restricting today's economic growth.
Nonetheless, with policy in restrictive territory, the baseline outlook and the shifting balance of risks may warrant adjusting our policy stance.
But historically, it's the case that as the Fed tightens and starts to contain inflationary pressures, that eventually puts downward pressure on the labor market. It was the case that June actually saw negative payrolls, which is the first time that's happened since December 2020.
I think the Fed is cutting from a place where it believes it has room to be wrong. Fed policy is best designed to address cyclical issues. If it's cyclical, the Fed over time should be able to nudge us back onto the path, but it can't change the path.
Businesses that see lower interest rates could be motivated to hire more workers.
A lot of it boils down to confidence. If I'm going to be facing relatively less restrictive interest rate policy, I can plan for that in the future and say, well, my burden here on the debt side is going to go down a little bit, but my business is still relatively strong. I can take that extra risk and make that investment in an individual or in some kind of technology.
Lower interest rates have many other effects too. For example, saving rates on bank deposits may fall.
Mm,
Financing costs for a mortgage or car loans could move lower as well if Treasury bond yields follow the Fed.
Long-term rates are incorporating a wider array of factors, which include a large budget deficit, which include trade policy uncertainty and tariffs, which include higher inflation. And as a result, they're not moving as low as the Fed funds rate is likely to move over the course of the next year.
It's a highly political situation. It's totally rigged. Smart people know it.
The slow pace of hiring is political trouble for the president. Experts say his policies could be contributing.
Manufacturing.
and that's the problem. That's the thing too. This is all being worked by this dude. Now, not by him officially, not this guy I'm pointing at. Trump. And not just Trump, the elites. Because I always say this, Trump is he's just the mascot of the team. When you go watch a sports team, a sports game, each sports team has a mascot that's the face of the team. Okay. And that's Trump. Trump is just the mascot. He's just the face of the elites. He's just a puppet that's being his strings are being pulled by a higher puppeteer, man. So the reason why there's a huge job crisis because the elites are working on this on the left hand side. So this is on purpose. This is not even just by accident or it just came out of nowhere. No, this is all being orchestrated on the left hand side, but truly through Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. So I'm gonna grab that scripture real quick. I'm gonna, you brothers and sisters, y'all can watch the rest of this video on your own terms. But there is no work in Egypt. This Isaiah 19:15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which head or tail, branch or rush may do. So right, if you're the head in this society or the last of the society, if you're the CEO of, let's just say PayPal or the janitor of a janitor at working at a basement of a fucking school or something, mopping the floor, hey man, no matter what you do, if you're the head or the tail, if you're ahead of the society or behind, the low level of the society, hey man, there's not gonna be any work in America. It's gonna be hard to find jobs or any career for rich people or poor people. So either way, America is done, man. Okay, this red, white, and blue speckled starred country is falling, man. Like ancient Egypt, and now that modern Egypt is falling as well. So there's no jobs in America, man. I mean, there still are jobs, but it's gonna be hard to find a job as we speak. So brothers that got jobs, hey, you better praise Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man, because that was the Lord that was doing that, man. So what if you're a janitor or a construction worker or a teacher or maybe a computer programmer, whatever? If you have a career or a job, or you working at a Foot Locker, hey, call all Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Because there's brothers that don't have careers or jobs, man. Not even just that, sisters as well. These sisters too. If you sisters are nurses or let's just say a teacher or maintenance or or what's it called? Housekeeping, a cleaner or custodian, whatever your job is, man. Male or female, brothers and sisters, whatever your job is, man. Hey, man, if you got a job, hey, praise Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because there's those out there that don't even have jobs, man. So I'm gonna grab this real quick. Jeremiah 51. This is Jeremiah 51. Ooh, before I grab that, I'm gonna grab this. The storehouses shall be indeed. KJV. Yep. This second address, 6:22. And it suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall be suddenly be found empty, right? Okay. Not just these storehouses like modern day storehouses like Walmart, Target, Wegmans, But mainly a lot of these places of that's filled with job opportunities are now empty. You know, you walk into many stores that was once hard to find a job there or hard to be hired. Now they got signs hired wanted. Okay, we are hiring or sign up to this website to get a job here. You know, because why is that? Because America is falling, economic wise, socially, mentally. People mentally, man, they're through, man. And when you get these jobs, man, a lot of these jobs are putting a lot of pain on these people, man, to the point they want to crash out. They don't even want to go to their job. They don't want to go to their 9 to 5 because they realize that it's slavery. You know, brothers and sisters, like I said, if you have a career, a call or a job, a call all Yahweh Shini outside, because you know that at the end of the day, you know the end game that Yahweh is coming, man. And all these things are, you know, the prophecies are coming to pass. But outside the circle, the person outside the truth that doesn't know this, they're bugging out, man. It's crash out season. And the main people, when the time comes, man, the main people that they're going to crash out on is their bosses, their co-workers. All right, the people that sit next to them in their cubicle like this. You know, your partner at your job, whatever. You know, you see these videos, man, people be throwing their desk and breaking their computer or whatever, man, because they're tired of it, man. They're tired of working at these dead-end jobs, man. So I'm gonna grab Jeremiah 51 real quick and call it there, man. End it there. So this is Jeremiah 51 and 8. Right. This Jeremiah 51 and 8. And Babylon is suddenly fallen, destroyed. How for take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. All right, let us go everyone into his own land, for judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the sky. So right, okay, this nation America, which is known as Babylon the Great according to the Bible, okay, not ancient Babylon, okay, but this modern day Babylon, okay, this modern day city of confusion is fallen. It has a wound. It has a big, huge, infected, bloody, yellow pus infection, man. A wound that can't be healed, man. No matter how many Tylenol or pills or whatever ibuprofen you could give it, hey, man, it can't be healed, man. The pain can't go away. So this place is done. That's funny how I was just talking about it, you know, spiritually wise, and Tylenol ad pops up. But hey, no matter how much Tylenol or ibuprofen or you know, fucking antibiotics they use, the spiritually wise, I'm just talking spiritual, you know, spiritual medicine they can give it to America, it cannot be healed, man. This place is done. All right, and it's rotten from the inside and out, man, like an old apple, like an old tomato. So this place is over, man. All right, so hey, call all your Yahweh Shimi Awashai by Shemer Kadash Shalom.